welcome back to the Spider's Web. In this video we're going to be finishing off, hopefully, our legendary barbarian hero. Now as you can tell, well, as you may have noticed in the last video, I did actually forget to do wash his thighs, so I've done that already off camera. So all we need to do now is just highlight and then fill in the rest of the areas that we need to do. Looking at what he's wearing here, we need to add a few more colours in as well, but let's just start off by doing some highlighting, shall we? I am going to just give the bone areas another wash over because they've not quite taken as well as I'd hoped, and there are a few other areas that need a quick touching up as well. So we're going to start off with our Warplock bronze, and I just need to go over and make sure all this part on his shoulder pad here is actually covered. You can see it's a little bit tricky in some areas. Anyway, I think that's about it. And there's another little bit on the axe I've just noticed as well that needs doing. There we are. So that's that bit done. Now we can get on with the main part of the painting. And the main part of the painting is going to consist, as I say, of highlighting for the most part. So we're going to start off, first of all, with some... where is it? It's not that one I want. Tumty 2. No, not that one either. Here we are. This is a colour called Rakarth Flesh, and for this we're going to use this as a dry brush. So we'll get our dry brush out and we scrape off virtually everything. And for this we're going to be going over the raised areas of the fur. As you can see, that doesn't include all of the fur. We're going to leave some areas still dark because it is recessed there, so the light won't hit it. So we're going to leave that obviously quite dark. But apart from that, so that is the fur done. That was simple. So that's that bit for that, using that brush rather. But what we want to do next is, still using some of this Rakarth Flesh, we'll pop it on our palette. I didn't want to pop this on the palette first off because as you can probably understand, I wanted it dry brushed, and if you put it on a wet palette it's not going to be dry. So get some on the palette, change brush, and then we're going to be going over these areas with this paint. We are going to be going over with the wash later on. This is kind of like the, shall we say, loincloth thing that he has. And So it's going to be, I'm putting this basically over near enough everything now here that needs to be done. What I'm trying to do is match this up as close as I can to the original model, but I don't want it exactly the same. I want to use similar colours, not the same ones. Because it's a different model, he's a different character, but it's a different model, it's a different, what's the word I'm looking for here? He's not the same person as he was when he was the basic barbarian. He's older, more experienced, battle warrior, if you get my drift. So he wouldn't be he won't be wearing the same things. He'll probably wear different clothes anyway. What I'm going to do as well is just go into a little bit of these corners that's already on the palette. A scrag brown, Doombull brown, and a little bit of black. I'm just going to go under here with this. That's because I missed it first time, that's the only reason. Okay, that's that done. Oh, I just realised I've missed, it looks as though I've missed somewhere else with the previous colour. And if you can hear any banging in the background, it's one of the neighbours going out. There we are. So that part is done. Just a little bit there I've missed. There we go. And next we have the boots to do. Now the boots are going to be again a brownish colour. I'm looking for one particular pot of paint. Have I got it out? Yes, I have. And I hadn't noticed. It's, well, Rhinox hide. You can't see it's behind the blue, but that's what it is. It's Rhinox hide, and in that we're going to just add a little bit of the scrag brown. In fact, just add a little bit of the Rhinox hide to the scrag brown, just to make it a different colour brown. Spot of, we'll add that to the white. That'll do. Just try and find a way of making this colour stand out a little bit more. It's all earth tones with barbarians, isn't it? At least that's how I like to picture it. It might just be in my head, I don't know, but that's how I like to picture barbarian striding around in the browns and earthy tones blending into the background. And would that be a ranger? I don't know. But they'd be wearing things like animal hides, things like that, which would be obviously brown cones, blacks, that kind of thing, depending on what animal it is. Yeah. Almost missed a bit then. That's that, and now we can carry on and do the next one. hopefully I'll have enough paint mixed to be able to do this. It feels like I have just either putting the brush in the wrong area or just not coming off the brush properly. Obviously if it's not coming off the brush properly we need a little bit of water in it, but that could also dilute the colour. Okay, so there we have it. The boots are done. In fact, they look more like animal wraps than a proper solid boot. Still, not to worry. Next, we're going to go back into our flesh tone for the Barbarian, which is, in this case, Balor Brown. I'm going to put some more out on here. We need quite a bit, I think. I'll put quite a bit out. There we are. Oops. And just wet my brush a little bit, get most of the water off, and then we can just move into this now and start highlighting the flesh areas. And as per usual with the flesh areas, I usually highlight as though the light is coming from above. I know it may not be to everybody's taste, but I just find that a easy way to highlight. If in doubt, make sure the light's coming from above, and it's sorted. A little bit more there, and that really is all there is for highlighting the flesh. I thought there may have been a little bit more, but there's not. Ah well, not to worry. The thighs, I keep forgetting them parts, I don't know why. Let's just add a little in there, and there we have it. Now what we're trying to do here for the next bit is the metal areas, and for that we're going to be using obviously a metal colour. And that metal colour, when I find it, it's another one of those that keeps vanishing. Oh dear Lord, where is it? Ah, bugger it, we'll use this one. This is a new one I've got. It's Necron Compound. It's a dry brush. Let's just bang it in, it might make it a little more interesting. Using that, because all I'm going to be doing is just going up on the whatchamacallit, on the metal areas. And give it a much more interesting look than using something like a Runefang steel or whatever it may be. Yeah. So there is our metal areas done. We are going to come back and do some more on those later, but so at the moment that's it. Now what I want to do is, using some of the, let's see what we've got. I'm going to use some of this, a touch of the different shades of brown, a bit of black in there as well. And this is going to be the highlights for our now. Sometimes just changing your mind and just putting a mixed colour in with another colour tends to work really well. It's going to be the highlight for our leather straps. And the bags. Alright. It's not a big deal. And now for this area I'm just going to use that original mixed colour that we did, and that can go over there. Like so. And after that we have one more step to do with these axes and things before we go on to highlighting anywhere else. And I've just noticed that I forgot to do a little bit of the metal stuff, so let's just get the dry brush out again with the Necron compound. There we are, and it's these. Wrist band things that he's wearing that we just need to touch up on. That's it. Not a big job, but it's now done. Now what we're going to do is give this another all-over wash, near enough with the Agrax Earthshade. So we're not going to be able to get this finished today, but everywhere that we've just done today we're going to give a wash, and not only that, we're going to give the bones areas a wash, and the inside of the cape and another wash, because we want to dull this down. I'm also going to be adding some more colours to the inside of this, like black and that, to make it look as though it's faded slightly. And just in case you're wondering how that's going to make it look faded, I will show you very shortly. There we go. Put it over the axe strappings there. Over the axe head. Those straps again, and now the skull helmet. And the skull on the axe. And then once we come back home, it's just a small matter then of just painting the handles of the axes. In fact, we might be able to do that now because we've not actually touched those with the wash. So we'll just dry that up for the second, and then we'll get out the Nuln Oil wash, and you'll see what I mean about it's not Nuln Oil, what am I doing? So I've got Nuln Oil here, and what I'll do is I'll just go over the bottom here, and it looks as though the dark against the brown will give it a faded look. I'm hoping. There we are. And as I say, now all we'll do is just get some grey administratum grey will do. Not making a big fuss out of this bit. Wet your brush, pop it into your paint, scrape a little bit off, and yes, I did catch the fact that I put some on there. On his arm. I will go back in a second and wipe that off. There we are. And when that dries, he will be done. Very simple. It's just a case then of painting up the base to look like the other bases. But that's it for this chap. In fact, not quite yet, because I wanted to go over something else with the Nuln Oil, and that was the little shoulder thing he has here, and the spikes and everything. I'm going to go over this again. I may give it another dry brush once it's dry with the Necron. Ooh. There we are. And so that's it now. I'll probably give this a going over, you know, the parts I've just done with the on the axe handle. I'll probably do that over that again with more Agrax Earthshade, but in fact I'm going to have to, because it's bleeding into the other stuff we've done. So I did make a slight mistake on doing that, but there again, saying that. I'll make the mistakes and you can learn from them. Okay, so that is it for this fella. Hope you've enjoyed the video. All it takes now is just a wash on the axe handle and possibly another dry brush over the shoulder pad. But that's, as I say, is it for this fella. So until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.